The rain poured relentlessly, each drop hammering against the windows of the old and decrepit hotel. The only source of light was the flickering glow of a single dim bulb, casting eerie shadows that danced like malevolent spirits on the worn-out wallpaper. I had arrived at the hotel on a stormy night, seeking refuge from the downpour that had seemingly washed away all traces of civilization. The hotel stood isolated, perched on a desolate hill surrounded by gnarled trees and thick undergrowth. Its exterior was a haunting blend of faded grandeur and neglect, with cracked windows and peeling paint that told stories of better days long past. Despite the unsettling atmosphere, I couldn't deny the allure of shelter from the storm, so I ventured inside. The lobby was a time capsule of forgotten elegance, its grand chandelier now dulled by the years, its velvet-covered furniture threadbare and worn. A lone concierge, his face etched with wrinkles and an air of weariness, looked up from his desk as I entered. His gaze held a mix of surprise and wariness, as if visitors were rare and unwelcome in this desolate place. "Room 237, he mumbled, handing me an antique key, its metal cold and heavy in my palm. "Beware the third floor," he added cryptically before returning to his papers, his eyes avoiding my gaze. I ascended the creaking staircase, each step echoing through the narrow hallways. The dim light bulbs cast long shadows that seemed to stretch and contort in the corners, like elusive phantoms playing tricks on the eyes. My heart quickened as I reached the third-floor landing, where an unsettling chill hung in the air, causing goosebumps to rise on my skin. Room 237's door groaned as I pushed it open, revealing a chamber that seemed frozen in time. The faded wallpaper was adorned with patterns that seemed to twist and writhe, and the ancient furniture exuded an aura of long-forgotten memories. But it was the mirror that drew my attention, a tall, ornate mirror that stood opposite the bed, its surface marred by age and neglect. As the storm raged outside, I settled into the room, trying to shake off the unease that had settled in the pit of my stomach. I switched on the bedside lamp, its feeble light casting an amber glow that barely reached the corners of the room. The raindrops drummed against the windowpanes like ghostly whispers, creating a symphony of eerie sounds that seemed to seep into my very soul. As I lay in bed, the minutes turned to hours, and the exhaustion of the day finally caught up with me. Just as sleep began to claim me, a sound shattered the stillness, a soft, almost imperceptible tapping against the window. I sat up, my heart pounding, and turned my gaze toward the source of the sound. There, standing outside the window, was a figure, a woman in a tattered white gown, her hair matted and soaked from the rain. Her face was a pallid mask, her eyes dark and hollow, yet they held a haunting sadness that seemed to pierce through the glass and into my very soul. I stumbled back, my breath catching in my throat, as her bony fingers traced patterns on the wet glass, her touch sending shivers down my spine. "Let me in," her voice whispered, a chilling melody that seemed to weave through the air like an ethereal specter. "I've been waiting for you." A mixture of fear and empathy gripped me as I stared into her eyes, trapped in a silent conversation that transcended words. Who was she? What had brought her to this place of eternal torment? Before I could respond, the figure slowly faded into the misty rain, leaving nothing but a lingering sense of sorrow in her wake. I didn't sleep that night, my mind plagued by visions of the ghostly woman and the secrets she held. The storm eventually subsided, and as the first rays of dawn filtered through the window, I knew I had to confront the mysteries that lurked within the hotel's walls. Descending the staircase, I found the concierge once again engrossed in his papers. I demanded answers, my voice trembling with a mix of determination and fear. With a heavy sigh, he finally relented, revealing the tragic tale of the woman who had haunted my night. The woman, it seemed, was a bride from a bygone era, left waiting at the altar on her wedding day. Her heartache and despair had bound her to the hotel, her restless spirit forever trapped within its confines. Over the years, countless visitors had reported encounters with her, each tale more chilling than the last. I left the hotel that morning, the weight of its haunted history clinging to me like a shadow. The rain had ceased, and the world outside felt fresh and alive in stark contrast to the darkness I had witnessed. The image of the ghostly woman remained etched in my mind, a poignant reminder that some stories, no matter how terrifying, deserve to be told and remembered.